So hey everybody, Rich here along with,
Jody.
so there we go, Jody is here, and we're doing a new video on learning 3D Vista for both of us. And one of the things that really caught my attention, and I think caught your attention way back before we purchased 3D Vista, I'm going to go ahead and minimize that. And can you just type 3D Vista in there for me? So Jody's just pulling up. All right, watch what's on screen here. This is a 3D model that's being flown through by the 3D Vista application. So you can fly through areas, you can merge your flights into actual 360 images that we've
Yep.
generated. So we can combine these things. And like we said earlier in another video, 3D Vista is great for assembly. It's not the builder. It's not the tool that you're going to use to actually build those 3D models. You're going to build them outside of here and then bring them in.
It's your presentation.
Yes. So it's total presentation is what we're getting out of 3D Vista. But so I just wanted to warn you up ahead when we show you our 3D model. The 3D model was generated not in 3D Vista.
None of this stuff is generated in 3D Vista.
Right. So they get all the components, and then 3D Vista is the assembler that makes things really awesome. Here we go again. I was talking long enough so that we could see this model. All these dots highlighted out to get into it. And then they zoom into one of their actual 360s. They're out of the out of that model.
Yep.
All right. So that's what really caught my attention with 3D Vista. We'd been looking at it for a while. So right now up on screen, we've got our 360s from that flight day, and we've got our interiors that got linked. And we have one more thing. We've got a 3D model.
Yep.
So we could actually take a look at what we brought in. Now, one thing I have to say, this 3D model was generated in a program called Metashape. And I'm just going to take a sidetrack here for a moment and show you Metashape Pro. So I use this modeling application for a lot of my flights, right?
Yep.
And you're out there with me on those flights. And then I have to come back and generate these models. And I'm just going to open one of them really quick because it's a repeat model that matches up pretty closely. So there we go. Right here, I can do an orthomosaic model, a 3D model, digital elevation models, and this is a photogrammetry software package. This doesn't come with 3D Vista.
Nope.
So I had to generate my 3D model part with an external program. So another program that could do this is Blender to generate your actual models, and we can take a look in here and look around. And when we jump over to 3D Vista in a moment, you'll see this model. Now, this is a low resolution model. It's not super pretty. We can go back and really tighten
Yeah,
this
we
up
haven't
later.
needed a high res model.
Yeah.
Because you get the point.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah, I'd like to bump it up a little more though, and capture all the sides because I was only doing east-west on this one. The other thing that you have to understand is that 3D Vista has one export component for its 3D version, and it's a .glb file.
Yeah.
So when you're making your 3D models, you need to keep in mind, hey, I'm going to need to use a GLB if I'm building this. Now, if this sounds complicated, it is. So, and if I hadn't already had this tool, I don't know what exactly I'd be using to generate these models.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah. We also use WebODM for modeling, and it only has one type of export as well, and it's not the export .glb that we need.
And if you forget and say you have a model already existing and you just want to change it to .glb, there's a billion websites that will convert it for you. It will not only convert it, it will shrink the size down.
And that
dramatically.
And that can become a problem. When we tested this last year, I was giving her a file that was way too large. So we had to correct that file in Metashape. So, you're gonna need some other tools. Don't be discouraged. go check out Blender.
Well, and 3D Vista did improve that end of it, as far as the
Yeah,
size of the
yeah.
model. So you can do a full size, can be 300 plus megs, and it seems to be okay now, but that was definitely not the case last year.
Yeah, but it's running for us now. So like I said, the other 3D photogrammetry program that I use is called WebODM. I don't know what the conversion process would be. So we were really lucky that we already had Metashape. We were already doing 3D models. And so I'm going to go ahead and close it. Oh, before I do that, there are a lot of files out there for 3D modeling.
Yes.
And so when I go over to export here, let's say I want to export that model, okay? All right, let's see how many different options we have. So we need that .glb, which is right there. But usually I'm doing Stanford PLY for my model, so I have to do a bit of a conversion and some changes to my final 3D model. So I have to keep that in mind for when I'm presenting this model as is or getting the model into 3D Vista.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and close Metashape. After I generated that model, I went to you and said, here you go. And so Jody imported the 3D model that we can use with our flights around here. So what's exciting for the outside stuff is that we could do a flight generated by 3D Vista here.
Yep.
And then we could actually fly into some of these locations, link them to the originals. So I'm just going to pull this one up for you guys so that you can see. So this is what the 3D model looks like. So it's kind of zoomed in right now.
And it always pulls up really dark for some reason.
Yeah. But by the way, look on the side, there are not a lot of model settings in here.
No.
But as you look under the upper file menu, there are a couple of different things that we can do in here. The hotspots for it, the lights, the cameras, and these all play into it. Now, we definitely don't have this down and perfected for ourselves yet.
Not quite.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to zoom this out.
And the zoom out just takes so long.
Yeah, I'm
every
doing my little
time.
mouse scroller here, and it's just, chugging along here.
I don't remember the keyboard shortcut.
It's okay. And also, just so you know, down in the lower corner, we've got another Add Media button. With that Add Media button, we could add another 3D model as well. So maybe we've got these spaced across. But now we're kind of zoomed out here. And like other 3D modeling applications, I am right-clicking on my mouse. I am left-clicking on the mouse to slide up and down. And like I said, the right-click gives me a rotation in here. And then my scroll pulls things out more. And also, if I hold the Shift key, we can tilt this down and up and just get people around this. So like that video trailer 3D model on 3D Vista, we've got a rough model here, but we could go in and out of this now.
Yes.
So the one thing that I've learned, I haven't learned too much on it yet. It's still, I'm still looking to find out more. Oh, I zoomed in a little too fast. But let's just say I want to make a rudimentary flight that basically sucks. Well, here I am to show you, you can do that. So I'm going to click on cameras, and over on the right-hand side, the bar's changed, right? So now I can put views in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move myself over to that first house that it had me zoomed in on. And now what I can do is create a view. So it's basically the center point of where my model's at, right?
Yeah.
All right. So up in the end, so Jody really is the expert on this one. She's letting me do this because she knows I'll do something wrong. I'm going to add a view. And you might have heard a camera sound. So now that I've added that view, I can move along. So I'm just going to hold the Shift key. So let's pretend we're flying from that first one. And maybe I want to rotate that. Maybe I want to zoom it in just a touch.
I think you're making too many steps to get there. You need to have it
All
move
right.
over and then zoom.
I'll get that one and then we'll space it out more. All right, so let's move on down to site 38, 39, and 40. And maybe we get a rotation in here to look back. No?
You're doing
Too
too
much?
many.
Too many?
You're going to the end action.
Okay.
You need the in between actions.
Okay.
So from view 2, which
Yeah.
actually if you click back on view 2, it will go right back there.
Yeah.
And so you want to drag it over first, make that a view, and then add the rotation after that for as a fourth view.
Okay.
So move it over and then hit the plus.
Here, hold on. Let's move it over.
Yeah, so you're good. You're on view 2. So you need to move it all over.
Okay.
You're going the wrong way.
Oh.
You wanted to go to the 40.
Okay.
And then, so like, then right there, you go and hit another
Make
view.
a view. Okay.
And now you can add the rotation to it.
Okay. See, this is why Jody's here.
It makes it smoother. I mean, you
Yep.
can just go dun dun dun, but
So let's say that that's about where we want it.
okay.
You know, just looking back.
Yeah, and then so
everything.
add that view or else
Yep,
you're
so we'll
it's not
add
going to
another
stop
view
there.
here. So, and we're still not perfect here. We can try this right now. It doesn't have to be complete.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we can try this, and that's part of the good part of the views here. So what I need to do next is do a sequence, and the sequence comes from those views. So we don't have to add all of them. If we put a bunch of additional ones around, we could select which ones don't even belong in here.
Yeah, you can just select the ones that you want to use.
Yeah, and then maybe come back to the others for
Yeah.
something else. So all right, we've got the set of sequences. So what does this do now?
It moves you through what
Kinda
it
like a
moves you
flight.
through like a fly. It moves you like a fly through of all the different viewpoints that you set up in the views option.
So what I'm going to do is hit the play button here, and it brings me back to that first house, the second one. And okay, there, Jody was right with that correction for sure. So, you know, now we could...
And you can smooth it out. You can have it take a little longer with the transitions. You can change the transitions. The only thing, you can change the transitions, but you have to go and play it back through. You don't really get a sample of what they are until you try it.
Oh, I could go all the way over to here from that last look back to this house, which is still under construction.
The lumpy house.
The lumpy house, yes. And I wonder what that would look like. So let's go back up. I want to make a new view because I just want to see how far out I've pulled that. All right, so now we've got that, and we need to add another one to the sequence. So we need to add 5.
Yep.
So done. So pretty exciting. This is neat how it does those movements. But the one thing that you've been having some trouble with is afterward with the split 360 and the 3D, or...
No, I was having issue with it wasn't keeping that sequence when I previewed it instead of publishing it, because you always preview before you want to export it all. And I don't think that the sequence play it doesn't work. It doesn't do it on the preview.
It's not match.
So you don't get that. No, it won't.
Preview,
Well, it's not that it doesn't match. It doesn't do it. So in here under sequences, you can hit play. You have your whole little fly through that you just made. But on preview, I didn't get any. It didn't do that to me at all. Maybe I was impatient and didn't wait long enough.
Yeah.
But which is definitely a possibility.
Yeah, and that could be. Let's see. So let's try. Now we've got view number 5 in here as well. So where's my player?
Sequence 1.
Oh, yep. Sequence 1's where we start. All right. So that first building, second building, third. That kind of looked all right.
Yeah, and you can if you go click on any of the views.
Okay, back up here.
Or sorry, under sequence. Yeah, it should be fine. See, under view properties, it has like the path and everything. I think if you adjust the path from shortest to whatever the other options are.
Shortest to longest.
Yeah, so it gives you longest, kind of makes it a little smoother. Yeah, it changed brightness.
The shading.
It does
brightness there.
I think it comes back to regular brightness when you export it or preview it, because I was playing with the lights and I added a lot of lighting to it to the one I was playing with, and when I previewed it, it was way too bright.
So now one of the next steps, you could go into one of these and actually match up your 360 with the 3D, make a couple marker points, and then you'll see the 3D model on the right side and the 360.
Well, only when you're lining up your 360 image. When you export it, you don't get those.
Okay. So there's a lot more to the 3D than we anticipated.
Oh, yeah.
When we first looked at it. And that's not, once again, not a complaint. We're learning here, and that's why we're doing the video. A lot of folks on my Patreon channel are actually interested in this. So they were teasing over the weekend, hey, you're building that for this person or that person. Since we had the questions posed and we've wanted to use it for quite a while, this is it. We're going to get ourselves good with it. I wouldn't say experts, but I think, power users maybe at some point. And then we can match all this up with our projects.
Yes.
And not just this project. We have a couple other projects. One that's this crazy hilltop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really interesting location. And then another one with some heavy forest going on. And it'd be really great to have the 360s in there to show things off before everything gets cut down and bulldozed.
Yes.
So anything else on the 3D model? Because we can pick this up in another video.
Well, I just wanted to show real simple.
Grab that mouse.
Give me your slow mouse.
Slow mouse.
I just wanted to show, just to give you an idea of when I was talking about the lights. So under the lights up here, you see you have these over here, so you can do like baked textures, which makes a difference.
I go back to big textures.
I don't play with the shadows because it says enable shadow in 3D model.
Yeah.
I guess if you're shooting at noon, maybe, but I don't think it's, you really need it. And you can adjust it. I mean, that didn't seem to do anything, which is fine.
Maybe turn off the big textures.
Nope, because then
maybe. Wow.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, there we go.
So it's kind of like bright. This is basically a brightness scale.
Yeah.
But can
you make additional lights?
Yes.
Yeah, angled lights. That's
so you can do the angled lights, so you can see where the front is right now, and so I mean you can see it actively moving, which it's it's cool. I think this is a little too bright.
Yeah. I don't think it would match if we were trying to put the 360s together with the 3D model somewhere. I don't think they'd match up very well because these are so bright.
Well, I mean, it would be all right, but I think it all depends what you're trying to show off. Like, because a lot of these, we have the funky little gloopy houses in the front, and you don't really want to highlight that. But just remove that, go back to here, bring that up a little bit.
Yep, that looks good by me. And then slide on down to the last row, the Sassabee, and see how that looks. There it goes. So yeah, we're working these 3 levels, which is one of the reasons we want to use 3DVista on this.
Yeah.
Is because we've got an interesting build site. We need to.
Because I killed the light and I didn't. I needed to turn the bake textures back on.
Gotcha. Yep. So that's the lights, and then anything else with the environment? I haven't played with that.
Environment is just your background color.
Oh yeah.
So it's all your empty space. You can make it whatever you want.
Yep.
I think the gray is fine. You can do the little animation. Not the animations. FX.
Okay. Oh yeah, you
can add. Yeah, so you can do the vignette. Where?
What are you looking for? I'm just
rain. It used to have. So you can do. Yeah, not that. It used to have an option for rain.
To give rain. Okay.
Like it would literally be little rain or little snow or.
See, like right now, I'm seeing we could, do something interesting. Have a fake flight from here.
Yep.
Up through here, up into one of these, and then link down into the actual home.
And I think I just discovered how to get it to play when you preview and export it.
Okay.
Right here under animations.
Yeah.
Auto play sequentially, because you made a sequence of motions.
Okay. Oh, we'll have to
So
test that out.
I'm pretty sure that's the answer. I'm a little disappointed I didn't figure that out before.
Did you want to preview it to see?
No, because we have like 60 things in here and that's going to take forever to export.
Okay. Yep, that you got a point there.
I mean, we can just pause the recording.
Yeah, yeah. You want to try it?
Yeah,
All
we
right,
can preview it.
everybody, we're gonna pause the recording. You won't know any time difference at all, and we'll be right back. All right, so I ran out for a moment, and
And nothing happened. It did not work. Maybe it's supposed to work, but I previewed it. I didn't publish it, so I'm not going to do the whole publish and
no, but I mean, I think we're getting the general idea in here.
Yeah.
Now it's just how to hook a couple of things together, because that is one of the other things. Jody, if you could pull up the web browser real quick, just so that we
yours are different
yeah,
places than
right
mine.
there you
we
go. And hit refresh on this. So one of the things that we've seen with the models on 3D Vista, they actually add some points. So these are the points they add and that you can maneuver around to. They zoom in here and now we've got the 360.
Yeah, they're basically little tiny hotspots.
Yeah. So we're still, you can go ahead and close that window now.
Okay.
But there's still a couple of things we need to figure out with that. I have tried doing those marker buttons, and I've actually achieved doing a 3D split with a 360, but I don't know how in the world to connect this all up yet for that cool presentation from the air into the actual building.
Like that I can do. It's getting back to the model from your actual aerials and 360s is the issue, and I'm sure it's just I have to make a button.
Yeah.
Everything's just make a button for it.
So we'll follow up with this because, like I said, this was what grabbed our attention and made us want to buy 3D Vista in the first place. Yeah. And I know we're going to get there, and going through some of their tutorials as well. So why are we doing this series when there's other tutorials out there? Some of them are a little old, and some of them aren't matching up with what we're doing. So we decided, we're going to poke at it.
Yep.
And see what we can do. So sometimes that's just what you're going to have to do with new software or hardware, is start learning on your own and start figuring out what you need to. So, all right, everybody, thanks for tuning in with this one. I hope it was fun, interesting, and I hope you got some ideas of what we could possibly do with these now in connecting them to the rest of the panoramas and showcase.